Hi everybody, and welcome back to Riddick's Journey today for a new video. As always, we're outside on the swings. As you all know who follow, these are Riddick and Winter's favorite place to be. Well, I mean outside the car and going for a walk, but lately they've been all about the swings. That's why I don't even know what to call it, but every thumbnail, I guess it's called, for the videos you see them on it. But today, it's been a good day. Kids, they slept all right. Riddick, though, he was up till I think like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a rough night with his shakes that he wasn't supposed to. He has a dairy allergy, and he's got some shakes that we have to give him because at the moment the soy ones are not available. So his stomach's still a little screwy from it, and it was a long night, a lot of poop. But today he seems to be in good spirits, good mood, so hopefully we're going to get some shakes. Mommy went to the store to go get Winter her snacks and Riddick some snacks and things for herself while Daddy goes to work today. But yeah, it's all right. It's been a good day. I woke up to a message from an ex-girlfriend, my oldest son's mother, who I can't really talk about the subject, unfortunately. It's a privacy thing and an agreement thing, but I do have another son. He will be 15 this year, and he was adopted. But the mother is not a good person, still not leading a good life, and once a year or so likes to contact me, and it just kind of gets me in this funk and this mood and stuff, and brings up old memories and old feelings and things like that I've moved on from. Most of you guys know, some of you don't, that I was not a good person as a younger man about 20 years ago or so. I know I don't look it, but I'm gonna be 40. So anyways, I've worked really hard to turn my life around because of what happened with my oldest son, and I've worked really hard and that's why I live and do what I do for my kids. They're my drive and my inspiration. I never want to experience that again, and I don't want ever any kid to experience what happened with my oldest son. Some of it is my fault, large amount of it isn't, but anyways, yeah, so I don't even know where to go. I'm seeing all over this Facebook about this stuff with George Floyd, and it's really disturbing, and it really upsets me that it took one man's death by a police officer to bring people together, but now it's getting to the point where it's out of control, and it's not about this man and protesting what happened to him. It's about people being selfish and using every excuse or reason to protest violent loot or raid. I'm a little nervous going to work today because the next town over is going to have a protest, and so far out of any city that I've seen, even the ones with the positive ones, everything's turning to looting and rioting, and that's literally, the city is 5 miles down the road from me. What's to stop it from coming up our way in my direction? So that makes me a little nervous. It makes me nervous for the world that my kids are coming into, with racism and bigotry and people just acting insane and doing things in the name of somebody else, when in all reality it has nothing to do with them whatsoever. And these are values and things like that I don't want my kids to have, and it worries me that anybody's kids, they're so impressionable, and they're gonna see this racism, this hatred, the violence. People are gonna fear the cops. Those are supposed to be civil servants who are there to protect us, and people are scared because you got cops who either watch too much TV or they do things that they shouldn't be doing, and treating people the way they shouldn't be treating. And that's not how things were, man. I'm an 80s, 90s kid. I mean, you saw things back in the day from this stuff, the Rodney King, for example, things like that. It's just only getting worse and worse and worse every time, and this is not something I imagine and envision for my children. What's to come of them when me and Angela are gone, and what's to come of them? Who are going to be the ones to take care of them? And that shit worries me. Sorry about my language, but I'm pretty stressed out about it, and even though we're not directly involved, I keep up my distance. I know not to believe everything that you see on TV, the media, and Facebook. I have done some college courses on mass media and stuff like that. I understand how it works, and how conglomerates and everybody twist things around to make things, to the way they want you to see it. But there's a lot of truth too, though. you know, what's to say that people aren't gonna start targeting people with mental disabilities next, or people with autism next? It worries me that these cops that are doing these things may one day pull me over and ignore the warning stickers on my car, ignore me saying that my kids are autistic and have issues or nonverbal. They may not understand or comply. You know, one day when my kids are not older than what they are now, I worry that they're gonna suffer because of ignorance, and it's just all the more reason why we need to put the word out there on autism and make people educated and aware, you know, and understand. Sorry, I'm pushing the kids, but understand that autism is something that can't be controlled. Autism is something that the person can't control themselves. It's all involuntary, and we need to educate so that way things like are happening today, or even right now with the racism and things like that, doesn't happen by mistake with one of our children, whether they be black, white, Hispanic, Asian, it don't matter, you know. And I know there's statistics, and like a lot of people say, oh, this isn't shown, but this is, and stuff like that. Winter, stop. Winter's not happy, but you know, I just wanted to touch on that subject, you know. This is why we're doing these videos and why we have our Facebook. And again, if you're new to the channel, if you want to check out that Facebook, it's at Riddick's Journey. The link is in the description. And also, if you're new here, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. And if you're already a follower, please like and comment your thoughts. And we want to hear from you guys on what you think and what your fears are. And, you know, it's so bothersome, and I'm trying not to think about it. There's just so much going on in the world today. You know, I understand that this COVID, everybody's been on lockdown, everybody's already angry and stuff, but it's gotten to the point now, again, like I said, it's not about George Floyd being killed by that cop. It's about people and their own wants and needs and their own desires and their own selfishness. George Floyd wasn't robbing and burning down Champs stores and CVS's and liquor stores. They weren't, you know, I just got to get off the subject. It's frustrating. But kids are doing well today. Hi, guys. Huh, I wonder why my timer's on the side like that. It's a little chilly out today. Winter's in a longer sleeve, and Riddick, what are you doing? Being little weirdos. Huh? Little weirdos. Yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know why she's doing that. What? What's the matter, huh? Whoa, that wind is chilly, huh? Say chilly, chilly, Willy. Chilly, chilly, Willy, huh? So how is everybody doing? How was your day? Yesterday was an insane day at work. Got busy. I was making pizzas pretty much all day, right up to the point after we closed. A good day, nice, cool day. I had so much to say when I first started wanting to make this video, and now I'm so flabbergasted and mentally drained already from previously waking up to, like I said, those messages and stuff. And I apologize if I'm a little off, but I want to go live and I want to talk about this stuff, and like, because it's important. People need to be aware. People need to know. And people got to understand, not just autism, but everything. Everybody, like, it touches on the previous videos. We got to love each other. We need to love ourselves. We need to not teach our kids beliefs and things that we may be raised on, because what we were raised on may not necessarily be the truth. I'm going to tell you a little story. So when I was about 15 years old, I was living in Maryland, and I was on the Eastern Shore, Berlin, Ocean City, Maryland area, and I was dating a woman of color. My father literally had a meltdown about it. He was a pretty racist man, and I can't understand it, and I didn't know why, but I got grounded for that. You know, I was 15 years old, you know, and that's not something that you want to teach to your children. You know, racism, hatred, that's not a given trait when you're born with. That's something that is taught. Children don't see color, they don't see race, they don't see hate, you know, and especially autistic people. They just know what they're feeling in that moment at that time. They don't know exactly what they want, not at least at this age anyways, not in the long term. Just know that at this time I'm hungry, I'm sad, I want this, I want that. Oh, I see a friend, I'm gonna play with that friend, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna do whatever. So what we learned, like again, as kids may not be necessarily, it doesn't mean it's right, and you know, that's a part of the world changing, that's a part of us changing. It's on us to recognize things that are negative and things that are bad, even within our own life, and things that we were taught, and change the world by changing how we view and how we raise our kids to be. We can't raise our kids to be like how we were. I was born in the 80s, in 1980 in fact. I was raised with leather belts, wooden spoons, switches, and groundation and things like that. I wasn't raised for racism, I wasn't raised for hate. I was raised to love everybody, treat everybody respectfully in the way I would want to be treated. And again, like I said it before, kids are very impressionable. Autistic kids, even more so. They're little sponges. They're little geniuses. Winter, for example, watched me take and open a blind, a Venetian blind, just by pulling the string. One time watching it, she walked over herself and did it. You know, these kids, they may not pay attention. They may not see things that you want them to see. They may not see things that you're trying to teach them, but they are forever watching. They retain that. They just, at that time, they either can't or they choose not to do something. But best believe when that time comes, when they want to do it, they're going to do it. And you're going to sit back and wonder, hey, where did they learn this? Where did they see this? They learn and they see things by watching you. They learn and see things by watching the things that you let them see on TV, the videos that you let them watch on YouTube. It's winter, no. Turn around. Hey, no. You're gonna get hurt. They learn everything that is around them. They see it, they take it in, they internalize it, they process it, they remember it. And then when that time comes, they'll go for it, or they'll do whatever it is that they want to do with it. So keep that in mind when you guys are teaching your kids, when they're learning ABA therapies, or they're learning speech, and they're learning cognitive therapies and things like that, and they're just learning day-to-day life values that you teach them. You know, and I know, like, some people be like, well, who are you to talk and speak on this, blah, blah, blah. You know, guess what? I may have been a dick, and I may have been in a butthead when I was younger, and I may have done some time in jail, but I took advantage of that, and I took a lot out of it. I learned, and I have never been back. I haven't been in trouble since, and I've done nothing but improve my life and work my butt off to improve my children's life. I want them to have what I didn't have. I want them to be taught things that I wasn't taught, and I feel like I'm succeeding in it. And I know sometimes on videos I can seem like I'm a little upset or frustrated or angry, and there's a lot of reasons behind that, behind the scenes. Sometimes people make comments or angry faces because they see me do something, but little do they know in the background, behind the scenes, before the video, they don't know what transpired. I could be already in a bad mood. I could be already frustrated. I could be, you know, same thing with Angela or even the kids, you know. It isn't easy being an autism parent. It's not at all whatsoever. And some people just look and think, okay, they're normal kids, so why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Why are you upset about this? Why are you frustrated about that? Because the simplest tasks can become the biggest ordeals ever. It could be a matter of Riddick having a bad dream and waking up on the wrong side of the bed, and then the whole day can be screwed because he can be tired, miserable, cranky, fussy, falling on the floor every 5 minutes because a song comes on YouTube channel that he doesn't want to hear but his sister may like, which he does often, I might add. He may be hungry and wants something to eat and he can't communicate it, so he's frustrated and acting out. People don't see this. They see this happy, smiling little boy who's laughing and having a good time, and they don't understand that there's actually more frustration and more hard times than there is the good times, because at this point of being a toddler, he's young and impressionable, and he's hasn't quite hit that terrible 2 stage, but now he's in that terrific 3s, or, you know, like terrible 3s or whatever you want to call it. He's catching up to that point a little bit, and he's big, he's strong, he hits, he bites, he scratches, he throws himself around. He literally acts like he's possessed, arching his back while on his laying down onto his neck, hitting himself, hurting himself. So keep in mind when you guys see frustration out of I or Angela, you know, and you might send us that heart, or you might send us that angry face, or you might throw that comment in here and there, like, oh, well, why this or why that, or you shouldn't be doing this or that. Well, we're not perfect people, not by far. We're learning every day just like everybody else does, except for we're teaching people as we learn. And we have a lot going on in our lives. We have a lot to be thankful for and a lot to be happy for, but we have just as much to be angry at, just as much as to be frustrated with. And don't let a 15-20 minute video give you an impression that's everlasting on you. Keep in mind and understand, you know, this is why we're doing this, so you all know and you all see. Sorry, I had to take a drink. What's the matter? You ready for another push? But thankfully today, despite last night being a rough night and Riddick not sleeping but maybe 4 or 5 hours, that he's in a great mood, because in about an hour, when he gets tired and cranky, it's blood-curdling, screaming and crying. I actually have a baby gate in the window now currently to protect the window and him, because when he also gets like this, he gets destructive. He throws. He smashes toys against everything. He, you know, this really COVID thing's really messed us up. He's got therapies that he could be doing, but because the people see so many other clients, we're not comfortable having them come in the house. And there's only so much you can do over Zoom. Angela's phone is not the greatest. I'm the one that has the Zoom on my phone, so I'm the one that has... Winter, no. Stop. Sit right, or you're not going to swing. She doesn't have Zoom, so, like, all that energy these guys have and that they don't have an outlet for, we can only do so much with them. The therapists and the occupational therapists and things like that, they are a huge help, as not only are they stretching the kids, teaching them daily things and motor skills, but they're also taking a lot of energy out of these guys. They're taking out a lot of boredom, as we're not a lot to do, you know. We do as much as we can with them as far as going outside, but you know, there's only so many places you can go and so many things that you can do with a couple toddlers, you know. And it's hard to go out in the community because they're loud and disruptive. The community doesn't know, so we get dirty looks, we get comments, we get glares, stares. People will cut us shade and they'll just say rude things, not knowing Riddick or Winter is autistic, not knowing the situation. And it just puts us in a bad position and makes us uncomfortable. So we prefer not to, as much as we want to, prefer not to go out into the community unless we need to, or unless it's somewhere that we can be away from somebody else and where a little bit of noise is acceptable. But, you know, restaurants, things like that, hotel rooms. For example, we are getting a hotel this Friday. We're going to be staying at our usual hotel in Boston. We go to Waltham to the Holiday Inn. We stay there every time that we go there for hospital trips. They are getting to know us. We get a first floor, so we're not disturbing anyone underneath us, and we try to get a room away from everybody else so that the noise doesn't bother them. We also try to get a handicap room for Riddick, because he's legally handicapped. Makes things easier for us to get in and out of the building and to be quieter. And thankfully, people are a little more understanding. We do get people peeking their head out at the hotel rooms that look and not know, and I understand their frustration because they're trying to have a quiet night, but they don't know that there's other people there that are autistic. We go to a store and Riddick will scream and yell at the top of his lungs, and you know, which most stores, a lot of kids do. They cry, they scream, but with these guys, everything is like, the emotions are intensified. They're double, they're triple, so hearing wise, it always sounds way worse than what it ever is. You know, it could be something small as us saying no because they want something that they can't have, or they want to put something in their mouth, or they want to touch something they shouldn't be touching. And people will think that we're beating our kids, and it's just not the case, you know. And I hope that people who watch this will have a better learning and understanding of things, you know. And I pray that no matter what, I think my kids are special. I think they're the greatest, like any parent would. I think they're beautiful, and I think they're amazing, you know. But you got some people who just don't see things like that. They see disabilities as a means to be a certain way, act a certain way. I read and see so many articles and comments on Facebook and in groups that we belong to for autism about, sad to say, most cases men who can't deal with autism and end relationships with longtime wives, girlfriends, or they can't accept that their children are not like other children. They're every bit as special as other children. They're every bit as amazing, but they can't see past the disability. They can't see past the hard work, the frustration, and everything. But for every small win that you have is like the biggest ordeal ever, because they're far and few in between with autism. Autism wins more than we do. So you take those little small victories, like Riddick, okay, for example, he only eats goldfish. He used to eat everything. Winter used to eat everything. Now Winter eats like nuggets and pasta, and she'll eat a little bit more than Riddick, but not much. Riddick, though, he's the same way. He now strictly eats goldfish. That's it. And it's to the point now where he won't even eat the yellow goldfish, but he'll only eat the color rainbow ones, except for unless he's in the car driving, and then he will eat yellow ones. So for us, whenever we get food from anywhere, he always eats when we eat, whether it's his goldfish or not. He still eats with us. We eat as a family. And lately, he's been adventurous. He's been touching food. He'll take the salt, the taste, or whatever there is off his finger, put it to his mouth, and lick it. I had a milkshake the other day from a local store called Stewart's. A little coffee milkshake, and he's allergic to dairy, so I didn't want him to have a lot, but we always offer him anything that we have, whether it's just to taste it, just to get him to say, hey, you know, see if he likes it, to see if it's good. For the first time in a long time, because he used to eat milkshakes, he used to like popsicles and ice cream, but I got him to take his finger and put it into the lid of my shake and scrape the ice cream off and taste it. And it's those victories right there that makes all the fight and all the frustration, all the anger, it makes it worth it. That one little victory is the biggest thing in the world for a parent to autism, because their child has taken that small step to try something new, to try something out of their comfort zone, something that they may not like. I think Winter might be ready to get out of the swing, so I'm going to take her out real quick. So let me just set this down. But as I was saying, I will gladly take those small victories over 1,000 losses, 1,000 frustrations. Like, there could be 1,000 battles where we're trying to get ready to do something, and no matter how frustrating, how angry I get, it's that one little small victory that turns everything around and gives us hope. Because if he's willing to take that next little step to do that, and then who knows what else is next for him? Who knows what he'll try to do next? And that's what we work for. That's what we strive for. Those little victories, because those little victories lead to bigger things. And I'm really proud of him for doing that. Like, again, you guys don't know, may not understand it, you may not see it, you may not understand why is him just tasting a little bit of ice cream such a big deal. It's huge. It's like astronomical. Sensory is a big thing of autism. You're either sensory seeking or you're trying to get away from it. And Rick does a little bit of both. And in this case, he was looking for something different. He was trying, and I'm glad that he did. Little Miss Winter trying to escape. Hey, get back here. She's a little adventurous. She's afraid of the pool. When daddy or mommy bring her to it, she wants to cry, but now it looks like she's heading for it. Daddy's gonna put the playhouse together tomorrow. Hopefully Miss Winter will like it and Riddick will play in it. Hoping to keep the bees out. But there's mommy. She just pulled in. But this video has gone pretty long, so I'm gonna bring this to a close, and thank you again for joining us on Riddick's Journey. Again, join us on Facebook. The link is in the description at Riddick's Journey. Also on Instagram at Riddick's_Journey. Follow us here if you're new. Like, comment, subscribe, and get the bell for those post notifications. And we will see you guys on the next time. Thank you and peace out. Bye-bye, buddy. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.